Tosh was on his North American tour, I had the opportunity to speak with him. The New Jersey network cameras caught up with the Bush Doctor in his Manhattan hotel room for an exclusive interview.
Reggae music is the king's music. And reggae music, or you would say, which king? Anyone would ask that question. Well, I would say the King of Kings, who is Rastafari, who we, who are being looked upon as the fools, praise Emperor Haile Selassie as the King of Kings, mighty and honorable. And it is through him that this divine music is inspired, through us as the manifester of the music.
Now, what are the musical properties, as opposed to the spiritual properties, that make reggae music what it is?
Well, I would say the musical properties all depends on the percussiveness and the syncopations within the beat, and coordinating the beat with the beat of the heart, because reggae music was precisely built around the heartbeat.
There are many kings of reggae music.
Yeah.
There are many names in reggae music. Why is Peter Tosh music considered to be among the best of that which is called reggae?
Well, within me, I live in the garden of inspiration. And reggae music comes two ways. Some are being influenced, and some are being inspired. See, it is very easy to paint a picture from a picture when you was born with the concept, with that architect, with those artistic qualities within you. See, you can paint a picture from a picture if you are one who are being influenced. When you are one who are being inspired, you create. See, you go in the garden of inspiration, you see all the unusual colors of the flowers, which would be interpreted of the music. See? And you would pick the best that you think that you have seen. The garden is very big. See? And you would sit there, put it together, materialize it as music. Then you would come to earth and materialize it so that man can hear. Whenever time that music comes to earth, it is ever new. See? And it's either you like it or you don't like it. And if you don't like it, it's because there is no beauty. There is no beauty within your concepts, within your mind, your thought. Because the inspiration that created and made that music materialize is beautiful.
Speaking of the garden of music, we're in a city which is also a garden of music of a sort. How do you feel about being on the road and being in areas like New York City? What does that do for Peter Tosh music?
Well, me being here is just to make people know of my qualities and potential within the music fields, and not to compete with nothing within the system or the system. See, just to represent my dignity. And being here in New York, see, I am here in New York, but New York is not here in me. I'm just passing through, and I know I had to be here to represent me in the flesh. Reggae music is a music that comes to you two ways. You hear one part, and you feel one part. See, those who paint the picture from the picture hears that part. The spiritual part cannot be taped. See, so every time one who paints a picture from a picture of reggae, who was not inspired by that divine force or energy, will only play cheque, because that is what on top.
If there was a message that you wanted to get across to people about your music, what would that message be?
And Johnny Carson, well, me personally don't like to give messages of music. I like to mix the formula. See, as I prescribe this formula, I mix my formula, and then I try out my formula and see how it works. See, and I must have weakness. See? So it's like saying that I prefer to be playing the music. Because when it comes to playing the music explains itself. And it never fails. See?
What is your strength as a musician?
My strength? My strength lies within my spirit. Yeah, man, it's unfathomable. Sometimes it's like can be a million tons of megaton, and the next time it's just as normal as human. It grows.
Talk a little bit about reggae music, the foundations as you were before, about the beat, about the bass line, and how you approach going into the studio.
Well, I'm saying now, there are many ways of making music. I make music many ways, not one stationary or specific way. See, because I'm an architect, I can build my house from any angle. See? So, sometimes I may be sitting down here and like talking to you now, if I want to make a music before this interview is finished, I can make a song professional to be recorded tomorrow. That's how, when you live in the garden of inspiration, that's how you know that you live there. You don't have to go and sit down and smoke a spliff or take a draw or try to get high and everything there and go and isolate. See, I can make a song in Times Square. See? So you can know how much I'm into myself. See? Sometimes you just sit down and just this is not something that I've ever played before or something that I have even have the idea of saying before, this melody that I just played on this line. But when you live in the garden of inspiration, you just do like this. You pick up one or do like this, you take up one, you don't have to look where you see because you live there. See? So it's no problem.
But all gardens have periods of growth and periods of dormancy. Does your garden go through seasons, or is your garden always a tropical one?
My garden is always tropical, always blooming. It never changes. Every time you go in there are flowers blooming. And these flowers never fade. It's the beauty about this garden, because it's the garden of inspiration.
No medflies or insects?
No, nothing. No pollution is there, man. When you're there, don't care where you are, and you're in the garden, you're unpolluted. I tell you, man, nothing. The only thing you get there is unpolluted oxygen every time. See? And everything blooms. And the green in that garden is more beautiful than the green that you ever see for all the years that you've been here.
You said earlier that dreadlocks do not a Rastafari make. Can you explain that?
Yes, I was explaining that. You see, most people see this, this is a land of fantasy and illusion. They try to paint a picture from a picture to make another world of illusion. See? And people never investigate which picture this picture has been painted from. They just say, oh, this picture is beautiful. Let's raise, let's dive down on it, and let's try to do that. It looks good. See? So when the Rasta man passes through these places with his dreadlocks, he was being looked upon in a world of fantasy as a part of the fantasy, but being new. So people saw his hair waves, which is not a style. See? Try to adopt it. They are even now making dread wigs. See? Trying to commercialize culture and to define the characteristics of it thereof, so as to make people say that that is Rasta.
Rasta is in the heart, not on the hair.
No. And when you speak of, because this can grow in the next 2 weeks, the heart takes years, or it must be an inborn concept. See? So the reason I have to really define what this means, because many people wear this and didn't even know that there was a name called Rastafari. And if they even do know, they don't know what the name means, because it is not English.